Hey there, everybody. Matt Nickerson here, and I want to update you on this thing called Relentless Pursuit. So in this video, I want to talk about what it is, what we've done so far, and where we're going. Let's talk about what it is. One of my favorite passages in the entire Bible comes from Matthew chapter 25, the parable of the talents. And in that parable, Jesus tells a story about leaving resources to his people. Then he's going to be gone a long time. Then he's going to come back and say, what'd you do with what I gave you? And in that conversation, one of the guys in the story, one of the servants, he says, I know that you're a hard master. I know that you were able to reap where you have not sown. And so I was afraid to do anything wrong, so I just did nothing. And I buried what you gave me in the ground, and I did nothing. And then that servant is held accountable, and it doesn't go well for him. But everybody else who took what God gave them, put it to good work, they are commended and told, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with a few things. Let me put you in charge of many. That passage has sat with me so convictingly for so long. What does it mean to actually believe that God is able to do something with what he gave you? If you just trust him, he's actually able to bring about a harvest in places where he's never actually planted a seed. If we were to believe that about God, what would happen if we were together to say, we all believe that about God? Let's all go in together. So that kicked off this thing called Relentless Pursuit, that we would be a church that would passionately pursue Jesus, that we would together say, what would God want to do in this church, in this community, in this day? As long as we call this church home, let's get in together. To kick off Relentless Pursuit, we challenged people and said, look, this is not just going to be about money. Yes, we're going to raise money, but this is about what God wants to do in the world. So who has God placed in your sphere of influence that you need to reach to bring into a relationship with Jesus? And what we did, we kicked off Relentless Pursuit 2 years ago by writing names all over the stages and the pillars in our room where we worship every single Sunday. And those names have been up there. We've added some names and we just continue to pray over them. And over the last 2 years, we keep hearing stories about how God is answering those prayers. And we want to be found good and faithful. So let's talk about where we are with Relentless Pursuit today. So 2 years ago, when we kicked this off, the church committed $2.1 million. So far, we've collected $1.25 million. When we launched Relentless Pursuit, we said we want to put those dollars into 3 buckets. Bucket 1 would be outreach and church planting. Bucket 2 is debt reduction. And then the third bucket is investing in our building and launching ministry and ministry partnerships to see God do great things in this world. We've done that consistently now for 2 years. In fact, we took our debt from a little over $9.6 million to we just crossed under the threshold of $7 million. We sit somewhere around $6.9 million as of January 2025. And we will continue to do that. We took some of those same dollars and began to invest in our outreach partners. Over the last year, we helped our ministry partner in Mexico to buy a van. In addition to that, we launched a number of initiatives on this property on the corner of 10th and Dan Jones. We have a partnership with Pathways Learning Academy. We build out our space so that they could meet in there and meet a significant need in our community for childcare and daycare. We have already seen 96 families coming to that, and some of those families are already coming to our church. We launched in January 2025 this partnership with Department of Child Services, DCS. We went to them and they said they have a need for when kids' lives fall apart. Before they get placed into a foster care home, sometimes those kids end up on the office floors of staff members. So we said, well, what if they could come into our space and we could give them a beautiful room to meet in? And that's already begun to happen. Kids are meeting in our building because of the dollars that were given. We've repaved the parking lot and fixed roof and repaired HVAC. We've done a number of projects with all of the dollars that we've given together. But we're not done yet. I mean, if we really believe that God is able to bring about a harvest where no seed has ever been sown, what could he do with seeds that are sown? What could he do if we were to believe in him and say, God, I actually believe if I just put my best forward in partnership with you, you can do great things. So that's where we are as we look forward to the last 12 months of Relentless Pursuit. You guys committed around $800,000 that are still to come in from the campaign. And we're asking you to pray and seek the Lord. Just do whatever he tells you to do. Nothing more, nothing less and nothing else. We are asking and hoping and praying that the Lord will move and inspire you to give an additional $400,000 so that we can do a number of things. For one, we'll continue to pay down and reduce our debt. For two, we want to launch a phase 2 partnership with Pathways Learning Academy. We want to continue to expand that so that more families in our community can show up in our building, so we can build more bridges to those who might not know Jesus and introduce them to the hope and the love that Jesus has brought us in the world. We'll continue to fix and repair various HVACs and roofs and things that go wrong in a building of our size, of our age. But we also have a major technology upgrade that needs to happen. Our technology here is way past the oldest iPhone in some of our places, and we need to get better in those ways. Right now, people come to Kingsway, they check us out online first, and those technologies are struggling and fading because they're so old and dated. So we want to take those same dollars and improve all of that. In addition to that, we want to partner with those same partners that we bought the van for in Mexico, and we want to help them finish this hospital that we have been helping them to build now for a very long time. We want to push it to the finish line, and we want to launch a church plant. We found a partnership with a great Christian organization called the Orchard Group, and they have a wonderful track record of planting churches that continue and succeed long after the initiation. So what we want to do is we want to partner with them for the next 5 years. And we've actually located the church plant in St. Petersburg, Florida, called Artisan City Church. They want to reach the wild ones of St. Petersburg, Florida, and we're excited to come alongside them for the next 5 years with Relentless Pursuit dollars and our love and our prayers and our commitment. These are just the things that God has led us to so far, and who knows what He might yet do when we come together and make a difference in His name. So my challenge and encouragement to you today is we want to finish strong together. We want to bring in another $1.25 million over the next 12 months. But listen, I don't want you to do this out of guilt or compulsion or because I said something inspiring or intriguing to you. I want to do this because the Lord has put it on your heart to do this. I read years ago in a book about a church who did a capital campaign, and only 25% of the dollars committed actually came in. So they canceled the campaign. They went back. They said, everybody just pray and seek the Lord. This time, even more dollars were committed and 100% came in because it was from the Lord and not from me. That's what I want for us. Go and seek the face of the Lord. You can learn more about this by going to relentlesspursuit.org and get all the information you want to find out more about anything that I talked about. But wherever you were 2 years ago when you made the commitment, maybe you weren't at Kingsway yet, or maybe you weren't at a place where you could help. But if you're here now and you sense the Lord telling you to jump in, just jump in with us. Let's make a difference by finishing strong together. I can't wait to see what God does at Celebrate next.